What is up, guys, and welcome to another Warcraft replay. Here we have Night Elf versus Undead matchup, I believe, here on the map Amazonia. This will be one of two games from the Netease ladder. These two players decided to play multiple, and yeah, we're just gonna end up with multiple. They will be uploaded as separate because it's a little weird having two in one, I guess. It's always this weird thing with, at least the way I'm doing Netease ladder games, and oh well, we'll just do what we do here. And anyway, Foggy spawning in as the blue Night Elf player in the bottom left. It's been a while since I've casted Foggy. I think his game was casted from the Hulse Cup 21 by Back to Warcraft, so there was no need to cover that game. Yeah, but other than that, I haven't actually been seeing many of his replays, so yeah, I figured it would be a good time to do so now. He did have a... Let's go for the next player. TBCBM spawning in as the red undead in the top right. More recent cast of him than Foggy, but yeah, just not enough of him, so yeah, we'll just have that as well. And mainly just because I saw two games which were ladder games, and yeah, I thought it would be interesting. I saw the army comps and not too out of the ordinary, but then again, like, I don't really expect much from anyone anymore, so yeah, there's that kind of depressing outlook on Warcraft 3. But Archer actually missed out on a free kill there, but I guess it doesn't really matter since Demon Hunter is not out, so Acolyte dies for the sake of scouting, and doesn't really do too much for that. Is not 100% sure on what the hero is, and the early pull in the camp didn't really do too much damage to Foggy, I don't think. Foggy taking quite a bit of damage as an Ancient of War, but it seems like it will be just fine. Death Knight going for a bit of early ghoul harassment here, as it seems like it's just going to be mass ghoul opening for TBC. And instead of harassment, he's just going to go for the Berserker instead, getting that quick kill onto the Berserker, picking up +3 intelligence. Something worth noting that the Death Knight did sell his TP scroll, so trying to get quick buck there, I think, just to cover the cost of those ghouls. But either way, if he ever gets caught, which probably not going to happen against a Night Elf player, he needs to be extra careful on that. However, the Death Knight is taking a little bit of damage, mainly because of tanking that creep camp. Others just eating up that mana burn from the Demon Hunter there. So far, Foggy surprisingly doing the aggression here. Wants to maybe do some foolery with his opponent, but really can't find too much opportunity aside from mana burning the Death Knight. The assassin didn't actually have mana, so it couldn't be burnt. He could try with the Renegade Wizard, and that might actually warrant TBC to actually have some care into that one, but yeah, for now, he is just going to go ahead. It's Death Coil versus Mana Burn, and I believe Death Coil does more damage than a Mana Burn. It doesn't really matter. Renegade Wizard already taken down, dropping the Circlet of Nobility and giving level 2 over to the Death Knight. So, yeah, Foggy didn't actually try, and of course, it seemed like the Renegade Wizard was actually out of mana, so it's not like the Mana Burn would have done full damage, so there's that. I was gonna mention that I was actually looking to try and cast Foggy versus Sock. It was like a 35-minute game. Maybe there was some good things there, but when I looked into it, I mean, a couple of heroes did hit 6. The only problem was that Sock went for tanks, and I'm not sure if that was even appropriate to cast, because I myself don't particularly enjoy casting tank games, and yeah, I guess for now that will not be casted, and unless it's specifically requested, I probably won't go ahead and do that. Instead, I'll just be looking out for other games. DK did pick up the True Shot Aura from the top left camp here. He didn't actually clear out the entire camp, so he would not be able to get level 3. Not sure if it's going to matter too much, as Foggy actually picks up a Naga Sea Witch for himself as his second hero, so very, very aggressive hero selection there. But I guess it is probably more common nowadays than Panda, so yeah, I mean, it's a good answer to Crypt Fiends. Able to hit those with Fork Lightning. Not too great against the statues, but it is probably better than the Pandas are, so yeah. Tier 3 on the way, so I believe it's looking to be no Hunter's Fall, so I think it might just be Ancient of Winds, or it could be an extremely delayed double Ancient of Laws. I still have yet to determine which of the two it is. Nice Vault Lightning to do a bit of damage to those ghouls, and of course the straggling ghouls are going to really struggle getting away from that Naga Sea Witch with the frost arrows there. Skeletons, I believe, oh, okay, a little off the mark there with the level 3 on the Demon Hunter, but yeah, basically anything can give him that level 3. Tree of Return, Tree of Life has been constructed and is moving its way over to the Rock Golems. So expansion here for Foggy, and it's looking really good for him, honestly. Double Ancient of Wind has been placed down, Tier 3 is on the way, and he's already getting expansion, so clearly a lot more than his opponent is doing, but I'm assuming the population's not that great. Actually no, it's pretty even, so I actually have no idea what TBC is doing right now. If he's so behind in a lot of things, I don't know where his focus is on actually. Tier 3 is nearly done. Sword House just finished, and we only have a couple of Crypt Fiends out for TBCs, so in essence Foggy is going to eventually outpace his opponent, which is kind of a bad thing if you're an Undead, because Undead do like their pretty strong mid to late game army comps. The only problem is double Ancient of Winds means that Hippogriffs can be a lot quicker to train, so they deal with those destroyers a lot easier. Dots are kind of interesting, I guess. I don't remember the last time I've seen Night Elf versus Undead where the Night Elf player went Mass Druids, so I will have to wait and see if it is actually good. I don't see how they could actually do well against this Undead army comp, but Foggy is in a pretty good position with his expansion nearly operational, and yeah, just nothing has really gone wrong for Foggy. TBC, on the other hand, nothing really disastrous happened for him either, but yeah, just an expansion behind is mainly the only reason why I am a little unconfident with his play right now. Just gonna continue farming. Death Knight is at level 3. It seems like Dark Ranger third hero for our Undead player, which will be spotted by that Wisp. So no Naga third, it is going to be the Dark Ranger, and I mean, when you're versus Mass Druids, I guess the silence will be very helpful. Either way, Sasquatch camp being taken down on the left side here. Sasquatch is going to drop sentry wards, so alright, I guess. I mean, not sure if TBC is actually going to go into shades or not, but sentry wards pretty much only just for I don't know, vision on the map, vision on the base specifically, I guess. I have no idea how well he is going to use those wards, but here comes an attack on the expansion maybe. Lots of ghouls, and judging by their speed, they are frenzied, so yep, they are frenzied indeed. Does it show here? Yeah, it does show here. Lots of dots. Dots have shown themselves, so at least TBC knows what his opponent's army comp is going to be like. However, they are quickly getting burnt down by the Fork Lightning and Frost Novas there, so pretty disastrous start for Foggy, but here comes a Cyclone onto the Lich. We do see a Hippogriff in the air, so if those statues will actually want to turn to destroyers, they will have to triple think about that probably. Demon Hunter getting yet another ghoul kill there, able to get himself a level 4, is chasing down the Dark Ranger, who will not be able to get any death coils anytime soon, as the Death Knight is pretty low on mana. Lich is now the next target, but he does have an invuln if he wants it. Definitely not a fight that TPC wants to stay in for long term, so he is going to retreat a little bit. As he is kind of behind in supply by about 9, so that was despite getting a very good round of ability hits down, he was not able to sustain his army, and they slowly dwindled down. Pretty much no ghouls left, and yeah, his heroes took quite a beating in return as well. Level 2 Dark Ranger, which means access to silence. Not sure how useful it's going to be still, because I haven't seen much Cyclone spam yet, and I mean, Fairy Fire does seem a little suicidal, because it does give extra mana to those destroyers, but the fact of the matter is we still don't have any destroyers in the air, and I'm not sure if the upgrade is done. Upgrade is not done yet, but I'm pretty sure it's on the way. Oh, not even on the way. So TBC, I have no idea what he is actually planning for later on. If he actually goes for mass Crypt Fiends, I'm not sure how well they're gonna do versus mass cycloning druids. Hippogriff is entangled and will be taken down, so that might be a go-ahead for those destroyers there, as we do have one in the air already. Invuln onto the Lich, but that is going to wear out very soon. Death Coil did not hit the Lich. I believe it did hit the Dark Ranger, as yeah, is going to be forced to retreat as soon as that Invuln wears off, and Keeper of the Grove comes out as the third hero here, so even more punishing on the chase here for the Night Elf player. If TBC ever wants to second guess his attacks, he will lose a couple more units than he would bargain for, and yeah, that is actually really good for Foggy. More Hippogriffs into the air there, but it's not looking good for TBC. Producing more ghouls is definitely not something that you would like to see at this stage in the game. Yeah, wow. Basically, the only thing that I expected to come out from this is only fiends, but he took too many ghouls to the previous fight and did lose his lucky number 3, so yikes, had to halt on Crypt Fiend production. Is not a good thing to see. Wave onto the Hippogriff there. Not sure how useful that is going to be, as TBC is being chased around to the opposite side of the map. He definitely doesn't want to be here, and I'm not sure if he actually picked up a TP scroll. He did pick up the TP on his Dark Ranger, and he's gonna go for some cheap harassment before probably TPing back home. Chimera Roosts have been placed down, so these are interesting to see. Actually, I have not seen Chimeras in pro play in a very long time, so these would definitely be a welcome sight. Pretty much the only high tier units we have been seeing lately are Knights and Frost Worms, but even then, Frost Worms haven't been seen too recently, and I mean, I would definitely love to see Chimeras. Chimeras are definitely actually, are they a lot cooler than Frost Worms? I'm not sure, but I've always loved the two-headed dragon model, and yeah, we'll see how well they do if they ever come. Disease Cloud on the way. I am assuming we're going to see some abominations here. Definitely not good food for chimeras. Good food for chimeras, as they just take a lot from being heavy armored and chimeras being magic. And of course, A-bombs can't actually attack air, so Disease Cloud will help, since it's gonna hit a lot of targets, but yeah, chimeras are definitely looking a lot better this as the minutes go on, I guess. but the more crit fiends of course get added, the more vulnerable those chimeras will get. Armor supply of 60 versus 59 here, so it's pretty even for both sides, and not enough hippogriffs to actually deal with these chimeras here. Nova onto a druid is going to give level 3 over to the lich, but of course Cyclone, as I have explained before, is just going to get eaten up by those destroyers and give mana for those orbs of annihilation. Demon Hunter actually being unchecked, Death Knight actually not tossing enough death coils either. That's mainly because he is out of mana, and now pretty much all those Crypt Fiends are taken down. Meat Wagons are also in the on the ground, and they are doing a lot of damage to those dots, but is it going to be enough? I have no idea. It seems like the Dark Ranger has been bursted down. Lich is going to be forced to invuln, but that is only a 7 seconds, so he will be attacked momentarily, as the destroyers just absolutely destroying it on the ground. But it's the Demon Hunter and the eventual chimeras that would probably be difficult for TBC to deal with. Army supply is still at 50 on both sides, so pretty even so far. Plenty of destroyers in the air, and obviously dots and archers are not strong enough to deal with them 1v1. But yeah, TBC needs to be a little bit careful about that Demon Hunter. He does have the 500 health pot, and he does have the Orb of Venom, so he can attack those destroyers if he wants to, and I'm surprised he hasn't done so sooner. There we go, another dot dies, but our chimeras coming out. Yes, double chimeras are on the way, and there we go. Those chimeras should, I mean, they won't deal with those destroyers, but they'll be able to deal with pretty much anything that are not destroyers. Demon Hunter is still holding on to that pot. He is dangerously low, but yeah, I guess just playing it on the edge. Okay, with 60 supply, we are not going to be producing any more chimeras, but as a matter of fact, I don't know about Foggy's anti-destroyer army here. Although those destroyers are pretty low health, one just got death coiled up. 3 hippogriffs versus 4 destroyers, we'll see how quickly they burn, but here we go. 60 supply on both sides. Plenty of statues on the ground and on the air. Frost Nova hitting a couple of those hippogriffs. Here come the chimeras though, doing a lot of damage to the destroyers. They can't hurt destroyers because they are anti-magic, but yeah, you can see how quickly those statues actually drop, and this one will not be able to go into destroyer form there. Death Knight quickly gets killed off as well. Preservation on one of those chimeras, and that is just going to be a very quick GG, as yes, TBC could not continue that fight without his Death Knight, and he dropped extremely quickly after a couple of lightning bolts there. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I definitely like the cameo appearance of those chimeras.